welcome to another edition of the CFL Fans in the USA podcast. Rick Crabb here, and joining me as always, the moderator of the CFL Fans in the USA Facebook group, Mr. Phil Hall. Phil, happy weekend of football, my friend.
Happy, man. Happy Canada. Happy 4th of July. We had a lot of good games last week, and you know what? I can't wait. And this is what CFL is all about, close games and excitement.
Yeah, I think Sheamus in WWE said it best. It was banger after banger after banger after banger. This was a really good week of football, Phil. So,
yeah, man, it's amazing, man. It's every week, man. It's insane.
All right. Well, let's get to this. Go to cover the games from week 4 and how we did in the picks. First one, we had the Edmonton Elks at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. All right, Phil, let her rip, my friend. I know you got a lot to say about this game.
I tell you what, I picked Winnipeg even though they lost, but I was so rooting for Edmonton to do good. No offense to my man Mike Goodchow and my man Ron Solosky up in Winnipeg. I love y'all, but Edmonton is the darling of the team. This team is ready to go. This team dealt with adversities and they overcome it. And Cody Fajardo showing his veteran ways. And this defense is scary. Like, they was hitting Collaros pretty bad. Like, I was worried about Collaros not going to make it to Taylor Swift winning after how much they was hitting him. And at first, from the gate, they went down the field, and they just like, all right, we're going to downfield. It's easy to us. Then the defense made a big play in the end of the first quarter, like a 70-yard fumble by Terrell Ford, which I think he should have scored that touchdown. But
right.
Rankin looked great. He still had the fumbles. He reminded me a lot of Tiki Barber. He can run like 180 yards in a fumble every game. But Dustin Rankin is looking like he's top notch. And this team is just a fresh breath air. And Edmonton fans, Elks fans, wherever you want to call them, you need to go to the game. These guys are busting their ass every game, and you should definitely see these guys play. And I'm a big fan of that. And Julian Grant looked like the Julian Grant of Argo's years. Austin Mack looked like he was a time in Montreal. Steve Fizz had some key catches. He used to play for the BC Lions. O'Leary Orange, he made one catch, but O'Leary Orange could be the manufacturer of that. Now, for Winnipeg's side, these close games are going to bite them in the butt at the end. Collaros had a good game. He had a solid game. Oliveira had a good game, too. But the problem is the offensive line is the big problem, and their defense, the Asian defense. They're missing a lot of guys in that defense. Nick Dempsey and Tim White look all good, but their rookie Dante Daniels, the tight end, he made a foolish fumble, which cost the play. They had a chance to win this game.
Yeah, I was going to say, Winnipeg had a few untimely fumbles, especially at the one you just mentioned very late in the game, though. It's like, man.
Yeah. Like I say, there was a point in time, Edmonton had a chance to blow this team out, and Winnipeg had a chance to take the lead. They didn't take the lead, but the way Edmonton responded on that drive at the end of the game was amazing, and they scored a touchdown, which the last play of the game, I was so questioned about it. Why didn't you go for the end zone? Why you threw a 10-yard pass, Collaros? What are we doing? I was like, wow. Edmonton looked good, and that's all I got. Edmonton's a hell of a team, and like I say, these guys going to run through walls with that coach, and good thing. They have a chance to be 4-0 next week, and I can't wait for that. Who knows?
And I'll tell you, Phil, I'm kicking myself because when I was planning my upcoming trip to Canada, I saw the scheduled games that they had that weekend. It was Toronto was at home hosting Edmonton, and Kim and I saw them last year. And last year that was like I don't know, they had like the two worst records in the league. They weren't very good, and I was kind of like, okay, well then, night before they had Hamilton and Montreal. That's the division championship. I'm thinking these two teams are pretty good. That'll be a good game, which I still think will be a good game. But now I'm kicking myself because we were debating which day we'd be driving back, which would be a Friday or a Saturday, and the Toronto Edmonton game's a Saturday. And I was thinking, I'm like, man, this Toronto Edmonton matchup might actually be pretty good. If everybody stays healthy or whatever. So.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. And I'm not gonna do these two close losses to Winnipeg. I'm not gonna roll them out. I am worried about Collaros. That's the reason why we had the big news that Drew Brown got traded.
Right.
The real question is this Zach Collaros last year? Because they got 4 quarterbacks on the team right now. And personally, when Zach Collaros, I'm really a big fan of Bryce Perkins. Just to let you know, Bryce Perkins, he's the goal line quarterback. He played for Virginia. Actually, he took Virginia to the Orange Bowl. If people want to look that up, but Bryce Perkins reminded me a lot of Trey Ford, and they found a way to get him in there. I don't know. There's too many questions about Collaros. Will this offensive line hold up to him? And even Brady over there had a good game. The fact is that if the offensive line ain't going to block that good, over there ain't going to do anything. And over there did everything possible. He had 77 yards and 45 receptions, but like I say, the offensive line is a big question mark right there. And this team's going to win some games, but it's just, I think it's a big blow losing 2 games at home. Yeah, definitely. You don't lose at home.
No.
Yeah, but
and Winnipeg like to brag about being attendance leaders, too. And I don't know, it's...
And the crazy thing about Edmonton, they won. It was a packed house, Winnipeg. It was insane.
Winnipeg, I'm sorry.
My buddy went to the game, and shout out to Mike Goodshaw. He was on the field before the game because he got season tickets, and he said the crowd was loud, the crowd was nuts, and it was insane. And I was like, oh, what happened? It's like, oh man, Edmonton's really good. He said,
right.
Like, oh. And what happened? And the big blow of that game is Pokey Wilson getting hurt, and Pokey Wilson got hurt, and this team was in stagnant for half of the game,
Yeah.
And like Tommy Neal, he only had two receptions at 12. Dante Daniels, their first round pick, he had 2 catches for 51 yards, but he fumbled on 1. So who knows? So that team needs some guidance soon, because scheduling is only going to get harder for this team,
Oh, no doubt, especially in that division, which West is usually Cup.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
then next week they're going to go at Hamilton, and that's going to be a hell of a game.
Right. We'll look forward to that for sure. Well, the next game after that, I have plenty to talk about off the field with one of these teams, Bill, but on the field, this was a hell of a game. Had the Toronto Argonauts in their home away from home in Regina against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. So, I don't know, what are your thoughts about that game?
Well, my wife is so happy about this, and I love you, honey, and I can't believe I'm saying this, a Ticats fan, and even you, Rick, is a big Ticats fan, big Argo fan.
Mm-hmm.
I give you all flowers, and most respect. You play Saskatchewan Roughriders, you beat them in their own backyard, and I don't know, something about these new uniforms, they play bad for each team, but honestly, Toronto, when I first saw the first down, first play, I was like, Chad Kelly threw an interception. Okay, here we go. Chad Kelly intercepting the ball again. But for some reason, guys that you don't really hear was stepping up to play. That defense was hidden.
Right.
It was insane, the rushing back, Sam Hicks, he has 77 yards, but he has 7 carries, 77 yards. He made a big play of that, and he made a big 61-yard play, and it was insane. And once again, special team. The theme of the weekend was special teams, and Jamarian Grant ran back a punt, which made the game like 10-0. It was insane. And the way how Chad Kelly drove the ball is just insane. 23 to 30, 321 yards, 2 touchdowns, and forget about that interception. He missed the ball 7 times. That's insane. And Tyler Common,
yes.
Already I already think he's the rookie of the year right there. And 5 catches, 89 yards. The guy, all he do is catch touchdowns. It's insane. Coxie, we didn't even talk about Coxie because he wasn't a big deal. Now he's 4 yards, 70 yards. He's back in the mix. Mikel Polk, and they played with an injured Kevin McHale, and you got Unger the third. Everyone say they had the weakest wide receiver. Now I'm seeing the last 3 weeks, they got the best wide receiving core in the CFL.
Well, yeah, they kind of reminded me of what Hamilton did last week, where it seemed like Bo Levi Mitchell was spreading the ball around. And I think Kelly did that this week with Toronto. So, as an Argos fan, it's definitely glad to see that. So,
and the defense, and this is a kind of well-named defense of Argos. Even though Saskatchewan scored 34 points, this defense showed up like Benji Franklin, Darius Pickett, he came back home. Cameron Judge, he used to play for Calgary. This guy was hitting people. Dark Angelo, I think he's one of the most underrated linebackers in the CFL. Deshaun Amos, I remember he used to play for the Ticats. Tavarius McFadden, he shut down Emilius. It's like this team and Kalongo, I think Kalongo is going to be one of the best D-line within 3 years. This team is eking greatness right now, and I can't believe I'm saying this to a rival team. And Saskatchewan, they had a good game. It's just Toronto was a better team that day. Even though the problem is AJ Ouellette didn't play, it doesn't really matter. Emilius got hurt, but Keyshawn Johnson, and Schaefer Baker, they was solid, but Emilius was injured, and Ouellette didn't play.
Right.
And Trevor Harris, even though Trevor Harris had a good game, he had 409 yards. It's just the defense. The defense of this team need help, and they really miss Milligan big bad. Milligan did not play for the last 3 games, so it's like Josh Woods. Josh Woods had an interception in the beginning, but Josh Woods is like, they paid all that money for him, and he's somewhat a disappointment for Saskatchewan. Jameer Dorman, he was quiet. Anton Brooks, Ali Sad, like he had a sack and all, but that's the only defense guy did all right. Marcus Sane was getting burnt. Jackson Ford, all those guys. It's like these guys is supposed to be the Coach Mace top guy. He's all defense, and then the way this team is, it was a bad night in the office for them, pretty much. So I'm not going to look at this loss. It's just one of those days in the CFL. So
it was just a hard fought win by the Argos, but the Rough Riders will be back. They're having a heck of a season. It's a long season for both teams, for everybody in the league.
And I think what's the face got hurt, and I think the cure is the Ottawa Red Blacks next week for them. So
yeah,
who knows? It might be a close game for them, but that's going to be a good one. So.
Yeah, you never know with that. Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to next week's picks. But now this was, for a lot of people in the league, the fans of the league, the game of the week. Not even so much for the game, although it was a very good game, but where they had it and the overall looked like fan experience there. We go is Touchdown Kelowna, where we had the Calgary Stampeders play against the BC Lions. Where do you begin with this one, Phil?
Well, I'd say it like this. Two desperate teams going at it. I'm surprised at the BC Lions, and I think the defense did not show up whatsoever. Touchdown Kelowna looks so beautiful on TV. Now, I got another opinion on that venue. That's more on that later.
Right.
But the game itself right there, it was two desperate teams going at it. Calgary from the gate. Calgary wanted it more this whole game. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right.
Vernon Adams looked like Vernon Adams. 229 yards. That's a pretty like 100-yard games in NFL, but the way he was dictating the ball was great. And Dietrich Mills, he looked great out there too, as catching the ball. So, also special teams. Once again, special teams with the big force it is. Trying to think who scored that touchdown. Tariq McAllister, ex-Tiger Ticats. He ran back a beautiful touchdown, and I saw one of the best. Tevin Jones made one of the best catches I have ever seen.
Is that the one that was tipped 3 times and then he caught it and ran in? That was Yeah,
that was nice, And it was just hard fought. And this team, this is a win that Calgary really need right now up there. And BC, this could be a big blow for this team. And I'm not giving up on this team because I picked them to the Grey Cup.
Right.
But this team, Nathan Warwick I don't know what's the problem with this team. James Butler looked like he's out of shape. No offense. Yeah. He just looks slow. Keon Hatcher is his first game back. Justin McGinnis is back there, but the other guys like this, Jermaine Jackson is a freaking star, just to let you know. But he's the players of the offense is the problem. Hatcher had 162 yards. Jermaine Jackson had 149 yards. McGinnis was shut down, but whatever. But this team, it's the defense. It's the problem.
Right.
The corners, this defense is a huge problem. You got guys that I've never heard in my life, and no offense to these guys. You got Tyson Russell, I never heard of him, C.J. Colson, and Kent Jr. And I feel bad for these guys because these guys are guys is the backup did. Jackson Finley's the only guy I remember, and a lot of people is hurt on this team, and that's the problem. And then the front line is good with Sankey and Betts, but who knows?
Well, that's what I was going to. That's what I was going to say. I was watching another reaction video to this game, and I kind of agreed with the host of that. I'll shout out to him. He's named Brooklyn Rowe. Look him up on YouTube, Bill. I'll send you the link off the air. He is funny as anything. It's like he was talking about running back another game, Olet. He was calling him Omelet, and he was saying, and he's like drinking Crown Royal while he's calling the games. He's like, man, it's like Crown Royal. I could use a sponsorship. But one thing he said, in all seriousness, that I agreed with. Rourke looked like he was trying to put the team on his back, but his offensive line, actually, Calgary was like the first 3 quarters, they were like hitting him like left and right. I mean, it's like he needs some help with that line, man. I think, even though
big time, man. Yeah, big time of that, and I just think, like I've started, like I'm asking that question, like, is him being the face of CFL, is it too much for him, or what? You know, like, I hate to say it, I think there's talent in him.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
well, he's pressing, and the thing is, like, with this game in the previous match, he's probably Mr. Fantasy Football quarterback, because he'll get you garbage time touchdowns, and he did that in this game, but 2 touchdowns late in the game, but yeah, it's like you said, the defense, they just dig themselves in such a hole, and Calgary, I mean, this is their first win, but every game they've played, they've been so close, and they've hung with their team, they haven't been clobbered by anyone as of yet. Any team that plays Calgary, I would not sleep on them, despite what their record is. There's no doubt. It's the opposite of Denny Green. They are not record is not who they say they are. I think they're better than that. So.
Yeah, same with BC. I just think they need a lot of soul searching, and they need it now, because if they're gonna keep on, if they're gonna keep on losing, expect them not to make the playoffs, because this Saturday, they got Edmonton coming in. What is it, Kelowna again, I guess?
Yeah, I think they do have a second game in Kelowna, and we'll talk about that in detail as far as the festivities there. But yeah, they do have a second game, I think, there. It's on July 4th, actually.
Yeah, it's going, and personally, I can't believe I'm saying this. That might be the game. It might be the game of the week right there, so who knows?
Yeah, you never know. Okay, and then finally we had the Ottawa Redblacks at the Montreal Alouettes. Hard-fought win by Alouettes. I'm kind of a little concerned for Davis Alexander, though. It looked like, I don't know, when was it, Phil? In the 3rd or 4th quarter, it looked like somebody rolled up on his ankle, and he was out for a little bit. And Montreal cannot afford to lose him. We saw last year. They are a totally different team without him as opposed to when he's starting.
And then the quarterback, the surprise, I think they picked up Bethel McClay Thomas, right? As a backup.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, did he play a few snaps? I think he may have, in the 3rd quarter or whatever, but and they had problems moving the ball after Alexander was out, but then he had to come back in, limping a little bit. He still got off a few good passes, but,
Yeah, and that's the problem right there. And first of all, I shout out to Iowa, because this is the most shocking, out of all weekend, that was a shocking performance, and I really commend Ottawa for that. And one guy told me this team's going to be 0-18. I told him, watch out, because the last 2 weeks they played extremely hard, and the defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
And I just, we'll get back to the Ottawa, the Montreal, how it is, when I first watched the first half, I'm like, all right, this is going to be a blowout. But some reason, surprisingly, Malta Diaz is, missing kicks this season. I'm concerned on that. And
yeah, I think, it's because he's injured, because last week, the PSN announcers even said they weren't even sure he was going to play because he had a groin pull. And then, as soon as he said that, he kicked a 50-yarder. And then it's like, I saw in the highlight when he missed the first kick, it was like the announcers were giving him flowers, and then, he did the typical Jim Nance curse, and he misses it. Oh, see, there you go. You curse, and they were teasing each other about it. Yeah, I guess we're bad luck for him or whatever, but.
And I gotta find out what's the record for receiving yards, because I feel like Tyson Philpott might break the record this year. And the question is, then the real question is, who's gonna be MVP this year? Tyson. I feel like there's a two-man race now: Tyson Philpott or Justin Rankin. Because Philpott is playing out of his freaking mind the first 4 weeks of this. Like 198 yards, and the way he was catching the ball in the middle, he took that huge hit. The helmet fell off and got back up and caught it.
Oh,
it's
yeah. He's a tough kid, yeah, no doubt. Well, you might have another MVP candidate from that same team, Phil. Don't rule out Snead. He's having a good year, too.
Snead is good. You got Alexander Hollins, the ex-BC Lions. He's solid there. He only made one catch for a 53-yard, but he reminded me of the guy that always scored. He would make one play, but that one play is that one big play,
Right.
And I tell you what, and a lot of people say about this, and this is how if David Alexander can be more healthy, you got to rely on his running back. He got the best 1-2 running back in the league, honestly. Stevie Scott III and Travis Deese is two of the best wide running backs in the league, I think. And Stevie Scott III, he's a big physical back. He reminds me of Arian Foster, he's tall and he's like 220 plus pounds, and he's all physical. And Travis Deese, he's that guy. He's reminding me of the Austin Eckler type of guy.
Right.
But he'll find a way to score a touchdown. They're thunder and lightning big time. And David Alexander he's doing good this sport game, but he want to play the long game. Use these two guys, and I guarantee you, trust these guys. These guys are good, and that's the problem.
You think it's typical like CFL tendencies? Because we spoke about this before, where that's one of the biggest differences between the NFL and the CFL. NFL, you run to set up the pass. CFL, you kind of pass to set up the run. You think it's something like that going on, or?
I think the reason why the guys are doing so good because everyone's so worried about Snead and Philpott.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know how you can read. I never played football. I don't know how to read defense. I feel like you can set up the run a lot more than the pass, and I feel like he's doing more pass than run. And that's a little nitpicking for me, but I'm just don't want him to be all injured or hurt when winning time happened in October.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that's the thing. For Ottawa case, surprisingly, I think this team Ottawa showed me something, and it showed me that this team, no matter what it is, this team was going to fight. And I think they're going to win a game soon. I think they're going to win a couple more games before people think.
Right. What do you think about Meyer? Because I saw a thing from Luke Wilson, who normally to me he's like a Canadian Chris Collinsworth, but he made a point that I agree with though. It's like he said a lot of people are on him, because they're losing, but he's learning a new offense and everything. I think he's a good quarterback, and I think he's doing okay for them. He's keeping them in these games. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Jake Myers is not the reason why this team is losing. I think the team is losing because it's a new set of offense. You got a young offensive line. You got a defense that's pretty much young too, except for a couple of key pieces guys. Their core point is their wide receiver, and obviously that's the name of the game in CFL. Greg Bell is coming off an injury. This is like his second week. He's not the Greg Bell he was last year for Hamilton. This team is Like Justin Hardy is a big name in the CFL. He had 119. He's like the Keenan Allen on his list, the Keenan Allen of the CFL. He's Mr. Reliable. And Keelan, now this guy Keelan White, he showed me a lot right there. He was the second round draft pick last year for Ottawa. He scored 2 touchdowns, 2 great passes. I admired him. He did that one-handed catch. It was dope. I love it. Pimpleton, you got Eberhard on that team, and Pimpleton is a good returner. Another run-back touchdown. Pimpleton ran back a 90-something yard touchdown. It was pretty dope right there. 94 yards, yeah. So this team is dangerous. So watch out for this team. And I think Meyer isn't the problem. And I think they trust Myers because they traded Drew Brown. So who knows?
Okay. All right. Well, that concludes our review of Week 4. Let's go to how we did on the picks. Going into Week 4, we were tied at 6 wins and 4 losses. This week, I got to pull ahead a little bit. I got 3 wins and 1 loss. My 1 loss being the Argos, and again, I was happy that they won. I'm rooting for them anyway. You were 1 and 3. So right now, that brings us to a tally of me at 9 and 5, and you at 7-7. But hey, this will go back and forth between us.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's okay. And even in the games I picked wrong, I was okay with it. You know,
right.
I was happy my wife went 4-0 for one time in her life, and I'm still hearing about it. So
yeah.
you'll see the video tomorrow, so she'll be like,
she'll rub it in a little bit, huh?
Of course she is. You know, so it's like I say, it's early, so anything's gonna happen.
Right. Well, I'm in a relationship, but don't be surprised if I slide a DM to Brandy just when we're at the casino. I might ask her for some tips just to get some human money.
There you go. hey, she got the touch, you know. She's like, don't you be gambling. Like, okay. All good.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go into Week 5 and look at these matchups and see who we think's going to win this week. We'll start off with my Argos going against the Stamps in Calgary. Who do you have in that one?
So once again, I love the Argonauts' mentality, me against the world. They're practically playing house money in life right now, and they are just on cloud 9 right now. And once again, they're going on the road and going to the West Coast. Plus, they're going to play against a motivated Calgary Stampede game. That's going to be 9 o'clock on TSN in Canada and CBS Sport Network in the States. I'm sorry, we ain't going to be on CFL Plus. So this is going to be a hell of a game. And Vernon Adams versus Chad Kelly at their finest right now is going to be electric at McMahon Stadium. Toronto, I got to go with Calgary in this because Calgary got that big win in BC, and I feel like they're ready to go. And the reason, and I think the only way they got to win this is they have to find a way to get Chad Kelly some interceptions, and also find a way to get Dietrich Mill the ball. And if Dietrich wins the ball, he'll do great. Now, Toronto, how they got to win the game is do not turn over the ball.
Right.
Do not turn over the ball. Make Vernon Adams get all frustrated and let Chad Kelly cook. And they have a chance to win this game because they got good wide receivers court. But I'm going to take Calgary because I think they're motivated this week.
I think the game could go either way. I agree about Calgary being faded, and they've been close in every single game, and they're just it's like them in Ottawa. They're just these pesky teams, man. You can't roll them out.
Yeah.
Toronto, and I agree with you about Toronto. That's my biggest concern. Chad Kelly being a gunslinger and throwing to the other uniforms, But I think I'm going to go with my heart on this one, and I don't think it's a blind pick by doing this. I think either team could take this, but I'm going to go with the Argos.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick, and I think this game will be pretty good for both games. I can't wait for that.
All right. And the next game we have the Saskatchewan Roughriders going to Ottawa against the Red Blacks. This is an intriguing matchup, though, Phil. I mean, first of all, you have to tell them where you can watch it and what you're seeing in this game.
So you're gonna watch this game. So in Canada, you can watch it on two things on 7:30 on Friday night. It will be on TSN and RDS2. But in the States, you're going to watch the CFL Plus. So grab the tablet, grab the phones, grab your computer, or grab your PlayStation or Xbox, and you can find CFL Plus to that. Or you can go Roku or Fire Stick and watch it on TSN like I do. Anyway, the reason why I say this game will be a very dangerous game for Saskatchewan, because they're going to the east. They're going to Ottawa. My advice to them is survive whatever it takes to win this game, because it's a tough out playing in someone else's home. But I will take Saskatchewan because a lot of guys be coming back this week. I think Ouellette is going to be coming back. He's practicing, but there's a lot of people injured. Millis might not play, but I think Ouellette might play. Aju might be, he's reinstated with condition. He might be playing this week. He might not. He's not a good person, but he's coming back. But Ottawa, the way you got to play the game, you got to keep your defense be like relentless like you are. The way you play your defense, have a great chance. All it's going to get you in the game. Special team and defense. That's the number one key. Let Meyer figure it out. Let Greg Bell get the ball and run the ball. This team is a dangerous team. Saskatchewan is injured, but guess what? I'm going to take Saskatchewan in a very, very close game. It's going to be a very ugly game, but it'll be a very close game.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think it would not surprise me if Ottawa pulled an upset the way they've been hanging with these teams and all, but I'll go with Saskatchewan as well on that.
So. Yeah, it's going to be a very. I'm feeling like one of those 18-21 kind of games,
So even though we've been seeing a lot of high-scoring matchups throughout the league, but yeah, it could come down to defense this time. So.
For sure, and then hopefully Milligan might be back soon. So who knows?
Right. All right. Our next matchup features the new and improved Edmonton Elks. They're going to Kelowna to take on the Lions. The second game of the Touchdown Kelowna Festival there. I think that'll be an interesting game too. What's your take on that one?
I think it's like a tale of two teams right there. Like I think one team is on cloud nine, and the other team is desperate for a win, and both of them is dangerous in different reasons. First of all, this game will be on TSN 7 o'clock in Canada, and I know people will be celebrating in the States with fireworks and hamburgers and hot dogs, but turn it on CFL Plus around 7 o'clock before the fireworks show you have. It'll be pretty. You're going to see some fireworks on your phone this game. So the key to BC is protect and Rourke. Protect Rourke at all costs. Find a way, and your defense, find a way to fumble, make Rankin fumble again. This is very crucial for your team. Your wide receivers is coming back healthy. Butler need to get back in the game. You got to find a way to get Butler. Butler was a 1,300-yard rushing yards last year, running the ball. This team have to win this game, and I hate to say it like this. This is a must-win game for them. If they lose this game, they might not make the playoffs this year. And Edmonton, you're playing house money, and a lot of people don't believe that you're for real. Make sure you're the better team right now. Finish them off. And a lot of people, and I see the people picking Edmonton to win this game, I got to go with BC because they're more desperate than Edmonton. And Edmonton, I'm rooting for y'all, but BC need to win. And plus, I picked them in the Grey Cup.
Right. Yeah, and I picked them to not only go, but I picked them to win it. Oh, God, people are going to laugh at me for that. But, But, yeah, I agree, though. I mean, Edmonton, with ranking, they can control the, I think they can control the clock for sure if he runs all over them. And BC has a tendency to get buried early, like you said, with their defense and all. And I agree with them having to keep Rourke healthy. And for BC to win, not only do they, I think, need to stop Rankin, I think they also need to stop Velardo, too. He's been having a good year. So if if they stop Rankin, but if Velardo throws on them, though, they could still be in a deep hole. I want to root for BC. I love what they've done with Kelowna, and I picked them to go to the Cup, but Edmonton's a fun team to watch, too. I'm going to go with the Elks.
Yeah, and I love the Edmonton team, but, I hate to say this, it's make a break time with these corners, because Julian Grant is a hard guy to cover. So is Austin Mack, and also O'Leary Orange. And these guys, and if you don't get pressure to Fajar, he'll service you like a doctor,
Right.
So we'll see.
Okay. And then our final matchup, we have Winnipeg in a rematch with your Tiger Cats. And last time they played, Bo Levi Mitchell basically posted a highlight reel for the Tiger Cats. And he threw all over them, and Lawler and Mang, and they were catching stuff left and right and sideways and everything else. I don't know. What do you think about this? You think Winnipeg might try to exact some revenge, or you think Bo Levi's going to have another fun day?
I think this will be a good game, but I think if they got a week off last week, they're fresh, they're not injured. I think if you want to go, if talk about a desperate team, I think Philly Hamilton playing like a desperate team, and now Lawler's getting in the mix, and I really like the running back from Hamilton. Oh man, I had notes that I lost.
Roundtree?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Roundtree the third. Thank you. Roundtree the third is starting to look like to come in his own. Keanu Smith, he's looking like he's good, and this team is ready to go. And the defense, Julian Hauser and the man from Clarion, PA, and it's this defense is this team can be represented the East pretty easily, but the team is that they cannot lose focus. You cannot lose the fact that Winnipeg Blue Bombers, that type of team, will go in your house and beat you. This is the team, just remember, this is the team that went to the Grey Cup X amount of years. They may be old, they may be hurting, but guess what? You're not gonna blow this team out. If you gotta find Collares, you gotta hit him. You gotta hit him, you gotta hit him, you gotta hit him, you gotta hit him until he can't throw no more. Oliveira, you gotta stop him, and I feel like this is gonna be a dog fight this game. And if Winnipeg gotta win this game, you have to protect Collaros. You protect Collaros, you might have a chance to win this game. But I don't think Wilson is playing this game. Ontario Pokey Wilson, I just don't think. I think he's a key player, and we fall need to get in this game too. So I talk about for Hamilton, but this is going to be Hamilton Tiger Cats, Oski Wee Wee. I'm going by my heart. I'm going for my gut. I think Hamilton, this is their year, and I'm ready. I'm all in. So I'm going Hamilton to the win.
All right. I'm copacetic with you. I think what'll happen, though, I think it'll be close for, let's say, maybe like the middle of the third quarter, but I think Hamilton has enough firepower, though. I think they may pull out at the end, though. So, I mean, there is the worry about it maybe being a trap game, but I don't think it'll happen this week. I'm going with your Tiger Cats.
Yeah. And that's the problem of Hamilton the last couple of years. They have the great team, and it's like there's little setbacks of this team. It's like they just lost focus. And that's what happened in the East Finals. They lost focus. And I remember when they played Toronto last year. Toronto, Arbuckle, they was ready to go home. But for some reason, they played Hamilton time because it's rivalry day, and they beat them in their own backyard. And this is a game that shows how great you are, and you're gonna play another great team like Winnipeg, and they used to be a great team, but they're a solid team. But show how good you are, and that's my motto in life. Like, show how good you are, and this is a good testament to it. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch it. I got my pizza on Sunday. I don't have to work Monday. I'm gonna wear my Hamilton jersey all day. I'm gonna have a good time Sunday night.
Nice. Okay. Very cool. Well, yeah, I think American fans watching this will get some fireworks out of these games, so this will be a good time. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this weekend as well.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's on 7 o'clock TSN in Canada and CBS Sports Network in the States. So find a way to watch it. And speaking of that, people have a lot of problems trying to find CBS Sports Network. All you have to do is just go to YouTube or, hell, go to CBS. If you have cable, go to CBS Sports or Paramount. If you have Paramount Plus, go to CBS Sports Network, and it will show you this game on your laptop.
Huh. Okay, so you can lose your Paramount Plus. Okay.
Yeah, find that out, because that's how it saved me during Kentucky, because my phone was I forgot to pack my Fire Stick, so I had to call my dad and say, hey, what's your passcode to this? And I watched it through CBS Sports Network. And if you have cable and you have CBS, it'll go right to it. So check that out.
Okay, will do. All right, Phil. Well, we went through week 4. We went through week 5. I have one more topic I want to talk, but I think you and I are going to spend a lot of time on this. So let's get to it. Touchdown Kelowna. As you said earlier, it looked like a lot of fun on TV. I actually went to BC's website, and it looks like it's a big festival. It's a big family-oriented set of events. I mean, not only they have the 2 games, they have concerts, they have one thing I thought was really nice. I mean, you were talking last week about, memories of your dad taking you to games and stuff. This would be a good thing for parents to take their kids to. They actually have breakfast with the BC Lions. You could eat outside, and the players come out and say they showed videos. I guess it was like from last year preseason or whatever. They came out to like bowling tables outside and eating, scrambled eggs or whatever with fans, and letting little kids come up, they sign stuff, and if you want to talk about like the commissioner, you want to get younger fans to respond, do more events like that, and because you'll get like some 6-year-old little boy, his parents take him to that, and they meet meet the players from the Lions. They'll probably be fans for life after something like that, though. Because
absolutely.
It's like the one story you told last week when you met the Hamilton player. He was nice to you, and he was, he saw you had the Pittsburgh jersey on and all that. It's like to him, even though to him it's kind of like what CM Punk would say, it was another Tuesday. To you, young Bill Hall, you remember that for life, and that made you a CFL and a Tiger Cats fan for life too. Little stuff like that, can go a long way.
Yeah, definitely like that, and that's one great thing about the CFL. They're connected with the fan and the communities of the area, and this is not just Kelowna, this is the whole league itself, and I feel like the commissioner need to capitalize more about that, and it's the problem of, like, if you really, and this is my question to the CFL. If Kelowna is a big success, why don't you have the Argonauts play their games in Quebec or Halifax? Because I guarantee you, 9 out of 10, and it show facts, years ago, Halifax fell out. And you Touchdown Halifax, or I forgot what it's called, Touchdown Monarch, or where it is, Nova Scotia, is no matter what, they sold out. It was sold out, just like Kelowna or Victoria, all those little small venues, like stuff like that. And ask yourself, can these, and I ask myself it all the time, can these small towns, aka resort towns, can they fund a CFL team?
Well, I think with Kelowna, I think what they should do, I don't think they can support a team year-round probably because of the winters there. But I think what they can do is BC could play a game or two during the regular season, just so they can have like an event. Now with Toronto, oh my God, I was so frustrated with this, and I saw in our group, other people were too. Toronto not only are displaced playing at their stadium because of this doggone World Cup, their flagship station preempted the Argos for World Cup soccer. Granted, it was Team Canada against South Africa, and Team Canada's doing really well. It's a historic run for them and all that. I get it. But why don't you put on your website saying, listen, TSN, whatever AM numbers they are, we normally would be scheduling the game, but we'll be broadcasting on this station instead if you want to listen to us. If you want to listen to Canada versus South Africa, listen to that. I didn't see anything about that, Bill. And I know a lot of people who subscribe to SiriusXM, sometimes they'll be driving or they'll be, I don't know, working on their car or eating dinner, or they just want the game in the background. They listen to the games that way. I'm wondering if that the SiriusXM subscribers were able to hear through Toronto's. And now, I'm a cord cutter. I do not have access to CBS Sports Network. I wanted to listen to the Argos because it's their home announcers and they'd be cheering if the Argos are doing well. That didn't happen, obviously. So instead I went to Saskatchewan's radio, which they have a great broadcast, but Phil, I'll tell you what, I've never heard more commercials for farm supplies than I have for the Rough Riders. I swear to God, it's a different world there, man. But
it was like It's like watching Monday Night Raw, like half of it is all commercials, and it's commercials that don't mean anything.
Yeah, right. But I mean, it was the way they cover their team. I mean, they do it very well. I even saw on their radio station they had a YouTube. It was a video remote, and it had like their girl who hosts their pregame show. She was like doing that, and then they were like showing video interviews with some Rough Riders players and stuff. But the fact, I mean, Toronto, like you said, they could play in Halifax, they could play in Quebec City. Here's where I think they should have done. And to their defense, maybe the stadium isn't ready yet. They made that agreement with the Buffalo Bills. The Bills have a brand new stadium. Why wouldn't you talk to the Bills and say, hey, listen, man, can we play some games, some early season games there before your preseason starts? You don't think people in Buffalo would be curious to see what the stadium looks like, if nothing else? You don't think Toronto Argos fans would cross the border to go over there? Now, granted, Buffalo's actually closer to Hamilton, but still, there would be. I would think even Hamilton fans would probably want to go down there.
And people from Pittsburgh too, and ain't like they're in a partnership, and like they're like a joint partners or something like that. I forgot what it is, like Buffalo, the Bills, and Argos.
Yeah. I mean, they did a game last year where they had Jim Kelly and Doug Flutie signing autographs because they played for both teams, and it's like, and right. I remember some Argos fans were complaining that the MLSE store at Scotiabank Arena were selling more Bills merch than they were Argos. So I mean, I don't know, man.
Like even half of that stadium, you would make money. That's crazy. Like, that's a very good idea that I haven't even thought about. That would have been perfect. And I'm surprised they didn't talk about that. Like, okay, let's have. But I know how the NFL works, and they're like, oh, if the first team going to be in the stadium, it ain't going to be the Argonauts. It's going to be playing. It'll be the Buffalo Bills. But if they would ever, I just wish they had a better idea than this. This is like this is it's almost not fair. Every game they play, and then I'm a Hamilton game. Their home game, I think coming up, their home game against us is a home game to us. You know,
right?
Like, I asked myself, like, do they have like colleges around there? Like, why not they play there? Why?
Yeah, they have one in preseason. I don't understand why they don't play there, but I mean, there's a bunch of ways they can do that. I don't know.
It's like, I understand. I know. I say they should have a team in Quebec, but I know the big wigs, the big school in Quebec don't want any CFL in there. They all for CFL, but they don't want them to play in their stadium, which I think that's selfish in my eyes.
Right.
But again, you know, I forget what it's called, Laval University or something like that.
Yeah.
Laval University in Quebec have over a 15 to 20,000 seat stadium. You tell me, and then another thing, I have pictures of people who went to the Saskatchewan game with Argonaut fans, and they travel. And you tell me, and this is the problem, is they travel more than they go to home games.
I think what it is, I think they're just hardcores. That there may be some fans that go to both, go to home games, but then travel with the team too. Because the game I went to, okay, their stadium holds probably about 20,000 without the extra World Cup seats, and there's probably maybe about 13 or 14 there. So, but I saw there were a lot of old heads, though, Phil. I mean, there were guys like our age range or older, and you know, it's like they would have like old like pinball jerseys, and you know, I saw one Toronto fan in the front row. She has prosthetic leg with like a bunch of old Argonaut logo stickers on it. You know, she's like, you know, ringing a cowbell and cheering, like, you know, crazy. That's, but
it's like It's like you couldn't scope out places, and that's the problem. That's the problem with certain these guys. They didn't want to put no effort. They knew this was going to happen. They knew, okay, they're going to play at BMO Stadium. We can't play at Rogers Center. We can't play at Toronto University. We can't play in Gulf. We can't play that. I would have went to other neighbor cities that have big stadiums like basketball. I ain't going to push that place, but it's like Ottawa or Ontario. Go to Windsor. I know they got a big school. I know they got a school there with football field. I go to Niagara. I know they got a football team in Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls would be a lot of fun. If you and Brandy go out there, I recommend you spend some time there. I mean, that place is like Ocean City, Maryland, or Atlantic City on steroids. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That would be a good touchdown place to go.
I went up there for when the Steelers played Buffalo. We spent a night there in Niagara Falls, Canada. I love it there, and like I don't know if they have a team in Niagara Falls, but I'm just saying, fine. Hell, you can have a team in Niagara Falls if you really want to, but I don't know where they're gonna put the stadium at. But you can have. I forgot. There's another city in Ontario. It starts with an M. It looked like Mississippi, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, Mississauga, I think it is something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was talking to somebody. I don't know if it was our group or another group. He was talking about electric football, and he was saying, he said, I'm going to test. I have 2 games. I'll test them out if you want to pick one up while you're up there, you know. And he said, I'll text you or whatever, you know. So yeah, I think that's like between Hamilton and Toronto, but it's like I think it's south of Toronto, but it's closer to Toronto probably.
Yeah, and it's like there's so many places you can do, and it's a shame that you have this team. This is supposed to be your mothership team. This should be your like every team got your top team. Like the NFL got the Dallas Cowboys, the NBA got the New York Knicks. No matter what, everyone should be watching this team no matter what. Toronto Argonauts is the CFL.
They're in their biggest city and their biggest market, and they're the headquarters of TSN and the league. So
and the way they coverage this, and this is CFL fault, and this is the TSN fault, is tragically bad. Like, I guarantee you, because it's overtook by soccer, NFL, and basketball and baseball. Argonauts is like the seven most attraction in Toronto, and half of the people in the city don't even know that Toronto Argonauts won a championship a couple years ago.
Right. Even though if you go to their games, they have like 19 banners hanging. But I think what it is, it's Toronto has. I mean, Canada's like the U.S. They have a large immigrant population, but Canada, I mean Toronto, it seemed like they have a lot of Hindi, a lot of East Asian, like Indian, Pakistani types there, and I think probably a lot of the younger fans are like more like soccer more than they do CFL. CFL seemed like they're older white and black fans, you know, that at least when I went, you know, but it was like. So it might be a generational thing too with them, Phil. You know what I mean? It's just that they like soccer and they like the Raptors, and they have a WNBA team starting next year. They might get fans of that too, and of course hockey's king. And then the Blue Jays. Well, the Blue Jays. What's interesting with them? They're the only MLB team in Canada, so they get a lot of people, a lot of baseball tourists, I think, from all over Canada, not just Toronto. So.
And another thing is, like, they have two basketball teams, and actually they have 3 basketball leagues. They had 3 basketball teams in Toronto. They have a G League team. They got a They got a CWBL team, and these games and the Raptors, and all these games are sold out.
Huh. And then four count the WNBA team. They'll probably sell out initially.
Yeah. And then you got the Maple Leafs, their minor league team, the OHL team. You got the PWHL team.
Yep.
They sold out hand over fist. One of my buddies was talking about. One of my buddies, a big time Argo fan and Toronto fan from Toronto. They say they shut down the city because their minor league team won the Calder Cup.
Oh yeah, the Marlins. So, yep. Oh, shout out to them. Yeah, I knew they were in it. I didn't see how the result was. All right. Well, shout out to the Toronto Marlins. It's about time Toronto hockey team won a championship. So hey, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they say, oh, good things are coming, and like, oh, our city, oh, we won the Raptors, oh, the Toronto, we got Gavin McKinnon, the kid from Penn State, and like things are coming. Like your Argos won the game last night. What are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah, and that's the problem with that, and that's the reason why the true rivalry of the Hamilton and Toronto, because you got passionate Hamilton fans coming up to Toronto, and you got the passionate Toronto diehards, and you know they hate each other.
Right.
And the Hamilton take it more seriously, but the only just the diehard instead of Toronto's just not taking it seriously, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah.
Who knows? You know, like that's the. Like I say in all the podcasts, like Commissioner Johnson needs to find out, and I feel like Vancouver did it right. Well, BC did it right with the Kelowna thing.
No doubt.
Yeah. Now I have people who went to that game. They didn't have a good time. They say the people who had standing room, like eye level, it's like going. It's like you know, like you. I don't know. You ever been to a golf event? Say for example, you're like in the middle of the crowd. You can't hardly see anything.
Mm.
You know. Do show me a picture on Facebook. It's like a lot of people sitting like their eye level to the stadium, and like people, if you're not in the front, like 3 or 4 standing, you can't see anything.
Right. And I saw it looked like there were a lot of like I don't know if they were like corporate tents or whatever, but there were like a lot of tents along the sidelines by the end zones. It was probably nice as far as like food and drink, but they might have had trouble seeing as well. So yeah.
Yeah. And then I asked someone, and I also asked someone, shout out my man Paul, he the one got the Roku. He told me Kelowna is a wine country. So there's a lot of money, a lot of rich people go to Kelowna, and they're pretty much a big party, you know.
And that's another reason Toronto should have a game somewhere there. That whole Lake Ontario, as you know, you've been out there a few times. That whole stretch from basically the U.S. border to Toronto, it's like Napa Valley. It is wine country. There are all you see are like basically you see water and you see grapes, and then maybe like a sign for Hamilton or another city now and then. But yeah, it's. We went to one of them. We went to Wayne Gretzky's estates. That was an awesome place. I highly recommend that. But
it's like going to you go to Pittsburgh to go to New York, and you go up to 90, Route 90, and all it is from Erie to Buffalo is wine country.
Mm.
And like I say, like Toronto had a lot of options. And they did not, and I don't know, it's lazy on their behalf, or there's a lot of restriction to certain places, but you tell me you didn't have enough money, and plus you got Buffalo Bills backing you, you telling me you can't find a way to pull a place in any Ontario place or near Ontario, like someone dropped the ball there.
No doubt,
So,
no doubt.
and that's the thing is, and people say, oh, we don't have the money. Like, give me a break. The Bills are backing you for everything, and I hate to say it, and I hate to say it because years and years, Toronto, for some reason, they find a way to get money to the stars, like from John Candy to Wayne Gretzky and the guy who owned the Kings who went to jail.
Right.
More and more, TSN, CBC, always funding them. And you tell me, and now you got the Bills is backing you. You tell me you can't find a way to get money to a university nearby you and play your games. And guess what? I like those from watching TV, I like intimate kind of games. You know?
Sure.
Yeah. And I'm maybe a minority to this. Like, I like watching games in internationals for the NFL. I like that. I like it. It's kind of like a Super Bowl of not a Super Bowl. And it's okay to have a different game in a different part of Canada. And you tell me those talent ain't going to be up for it, you're out of your mind. And you'd be surprised. And I tell you, you'd be surprised how many people is Argonaut fans. And you just not know how to... I don't know, is it expensive to go to the games or not? That's my question.
No, they're about the same as the UFL. I think we got seats for like $30 a piece in American money. And it was like maybe a little bit more in Canadian. But I think the problem is when they say they don't have money, it's only because the ownership group owns too many doggone teams. They own pretty much almost every team that you mentioned, Phil, except for the Blue Jays. I mean, they're Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment. I mean, obviously they own the Maple Leafs. They own the Raptors. They own the Marlins. They own the Toronto Scepters, the PWHL. They own this WNBA team. I think they're called Tempo or something like that. Toronto FC.
Yeah.
And the Argos. And probably, I think they have a women's soccer team they own too. They own too many doggone teams. I saw myself near Washington with the Capitals and the Wizards. It's like you have money to either make one team good or the other team good, or you make both of them kind of meh, But when you have like 9 teams like that, and plus, God knows what else they own, Bill. I mean, it's like the Penguins when a couple of years ago they owned the Fenway Sports Company owned the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it's more money and all that, but guess what? The Penguins wasn't their top option. Obviously, it's the Red Sox, Bruins, and others, and LeBron James himself. And pretty much Penguins is in the back. Everyone gets a piece of the pie, and Penguins get the crust. And I never understand this, like, how they not funding the Pittsburgh Penguins at that time. You got two of the great, and this is my opinion because this is my bias. You got two of the greatest hockey players, one of the two of the greatest hockey players of all times, and you're not making no money out of it. You're out of your mind. Yeah.
And the same thing to Toronto Argonauts. I can sell you the Toronto Argonauts to CFL. Like, hey, you come to CFL, you will see one of the best and oldest organization in football club history. They are the top team that won all these championships, and guess what? They just won one a couple of years. They got one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and guess what? We got one of the best stadiums in the league. We also share the league to one of the best soccer players in the team. So guess what? Come to our stadium and see us beat some teams.
Right.
And they just don't know how to sell it. And it's sad because half of Toronto is the same size as New York City, and yet 60% of people know anything about the Argonauts.
Right.
And I know,
And a lot of people I talk to, though, they don't like BMO. They think it's like just a cheap metal. I liked it. I mean, it reminded me of Audi Field in D.C. But I don't know. There's a lot of people, they want a bigger stadium. I think they want an NFL team, and I don't know. It's just it's a weird vibe, though. I mean, it's like when I went there, Phil. I mean, they had won the Grey Cup the year before. They had Grey Cup merchandise like knocked off. I mean, I got a replica Grey Cup ring for like $13, and this thing is nicer than a high school ring a real high school ring that I had. You know, and granted, it doesn't have any diamonds or anything, but I mean, it looks badass. You know, and he has like pennants they were knocked down. They had a starter jersey with the championship logo. The only reason I didn't get it is because it was medium, but it was $55. I mean, I don't know.
You go to Saskatchewan and they won last year. Everything it cost 3 times more.
Oh, sure. Because they have a rabid fan base that'll buy it. Tell you what, Phil, if I hit Powerball though, I don't know, I might call up Wayne Gretzky and be like, hey man, you want to own the Argos again? So.
And that's the thing. Like that's the thing. Like how much. Like I'm worried about it. This is the problem is like I hate to say this word. Say this team fold. Like can the league survive without Toronto in the league? You know.
Makes you wonder. Unless TSN moves to Vancouver, I don't know. It's
like I don't know how, and I feel like in '85 when Montreal was folded, I feel like it was dark times for the CFL between '85 to '90 until '90, where John Candy brought Toronto. And don't get me wrong, there's some great games in '88, '89 in the Grey Cup, but you lost all the French Canadian fan base because they don't have a team anymore.
Right.
I feel like this is what I feel like it's kind of like Montreal and Ottawa. If they lose the team, everyone in that whole town will be crying for a team.
Right. And they lost, as you said, Montreal's also, Ottawa's lost a couple of teams too, so yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now Ottawa's here to stay, and that's good. But the fact is, I feel like it's kind of like, it's like St. Louis. St. Louis lost a team to Arizona in football. And they cried and cried and got a football team. They finally got a football team. Now, ownership, they see there's owners are greedy.
Yeah.
Simple as that. But what I'm trying to say is when the team's gone, you know this feeling. When the team is gone, you want anything possible to have a team back.
Sure.
And you got some of the fans, and you probably have some fans that really didn't really care much about the Colts in the 80s because it was like their bad years in the early 80s, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. They had some really bad. There was one year where they were winless. They were like the Detroit Lions. They were putrid, yeah.
And you was more like, okay, Orioles season, here we come.
Yeah, pretty much.
And once the people was complaining about it, whatever, it's like for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh cry about how much they hate the Pirates, how much they can't stand the Pirates because our owners are cheap. And I get it. The owner is cheap. But I hear stupid stuff like saying people say, oh, let's get rid of the Pirates. I hope they move. I hope they get out of here.
Especially after they built one of the nicest stadiums in baseball. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have another one. Yes.
Yeah. It's like when the Pittsburgh Penguins had their dark ages in the early 2000s. They was this close moving to Kansas City.
Oh,
Kansas City already built. What's up?
Yeah, you're right. I was going to say Kansas City already built a new arena. They were ready for them.
Yeah. And like the 11:59, Lemieux made a deal to keep him in Pittsburgh, and the rest was history.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is, this is the people in Toronto. Whoever is a fan of the Argonauts, or who's from Toronto, whoever listened to this, or whoever listened to Canada, I know you're a big Argon fans, and we thank you. But the fact is, we need to find a way to get these people in Toronto get all hype up about it. And maybe it's the owners, maybe it's TSN, maybe it's the commissioner. I don't know. But the fact is, two of your big cities is like fifth best in their city.
Right.
And that's a problem.
Fifth best is optimistic. They're not. I mean, they're like second or third in their own stadium, kind of like the Defenders are with all the soccer teams that play in their field. But I think it's more the ownership, though, because I really didn't. I mean, other than the stadium itself, Bill, I only saw one place that sold Argos merch. I only saw one restaurant that had like old Argos memorabilia. The rest is, I mean. They, of course, I mean, the Blue Jays, they were red hot then, you know, and they were Team Canada pretty much. But it was like, I went into this one store, I bought an Argos hat, I bought like a bunch of like Christmas ornaments with Canada and stuff like that, and then I didn't buy this, but they sold Montreal Expos hats. They had Expos gear as much of that as they did the Argos.
Yeah. And the problem is the CFL as a whole is the merchandise it's so hard to find in these big cities.
Yeah.
I went to Montreal. It was hard to find Alouette stuff.
Huh.
I went to Toronto. I had to go to almost a side store. Like, you can't go to Champs, you can't go to Foot Locker, you can't get no Argos stuff. You had to go like a side sports store to get an Argonaut jersey. And in the jersey you want, you have to customize the jerseys.
Right.
You know? Now, I guess it's a Canada thing. Everyone like those no numbers jersey, and that's their thing. That's cool.
Yeah, that kind of surprised me too. I've seen that on a lot of sites, but I guess it makes sense. So it's like, you know, they trade away your favorite player, you don't have like an outdated jersey. I get that, but yeah, for football you need numbers. You know, baseball, basketball, and hockey jerseys you can get away with it because you have the big logos up front, but football you usually don't have that.
Yeah, college football, you can have a jersey with no name with numbers, you know. But
right.
But like I say, like you need there's no accessibility, and I get it. We're living in an internet world, and you can just buy any internet. But
right.
The fact is, there's hardly any. I'll put any money. There's hardly any advertisement about Argonauts in that whole area.
And in that city, Phil, all other teams have sport. They have an NBA. I guess it's Reebok. I don't know who their shoe carrier is now, but they had an NBA store there. The Hockey Hall of Fame. God, you can get all kinds of hockey. I can get any team that has ever played in the NHL, even ones that don't anymore. I mean, they have you get like Oakland Seals and Hartford Whalers T-shirts and hats and stuff in the Hockey Hall of Fame store. But yeah, it's.
Now I got a question for you, and you might not know this answer. Now, do they have? Is it like NFL and NBA and all the other sports? Do they have local? Do CFL have local rights, or you have to pretty much pay cable to watch this? That's my question.
I think up there you do. It probably just basic cable like TSN or stuff like that there. But here's the thing: I noticed this if you come in within America, if you have like a cell phone that's based in America, they have good towers. I don't know what your carrier is. Mine's T-Mobile, and I was able to get good reception and everything. But I could only get things that were in the United States. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
They had at the Argos game, they had a promotion for pizza. You hit this bar, scan this code, and you get like a free slice of pizza or something. I was in the stadium, Phil, and they told me it is not valid in your country. Meaning they think my cell phone was still in Baltimore. You know, it's like stuff like that. And it's like I tried to. There's like a brewery up there that sold memorabilia for Rush because they have their own beer and T-shirts and stuff. I was going to try to buy them because I didn't know we'd be able to go to the brewery. They were like only available in Canada. I'm in my condo in Toronto overlooking Rogers Center. What do you mean only in Canada? But I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you go on the website. I get it. It's you want Canada people to get it, but if you're gonna put it out there, and I want to apply too, you know, so
Yeah.
I want the chance to win too.
Well, Americans, what I would recommend is if you keep your American phone, if the game's on CFL Plus, you can watch it on your phone. Or if you have Paramount Plus, you can watch it on CBS Sports Network.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, and I feel like that's the thing, and I feel like the key to this is Toronto, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I hope Toronto don't get folded.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a Cat fan, you know.
Right, yeah, you just want, because you still want that rivalry and stuff. No, I get that. They're part of the league. All right,
for sure.
All right, Bill. Well, listen, we had another good edition of the podcast. Probably about time to wrap things up. Is there anything you want to add before we do, sir?
Oh yeah, well, like I say, once again, all the people in Canada have a good Canada Day. Be safe, and all the people in America enjoy 250. It's going to be a good one. And once again, be safe, and once again, watch your games. And also, once again, my selfless plug. Everyone like whiskey. I love whiskey. You love whiskey. Everyone like a good time. I love a good time. You love a good time. Well, my buddy Barr in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Jaygoff's, J.Gough, is one of the best places in Pittsburgh. They have over 300 different types of whiskeys. You name it, we got it. They got the best flatbread pizza, and this is the home of the smoked wings. And trust me, I love a good wing. And if you want to go in there, make sure you say CFL fans in the USA or talk about our podcast. Say my name or say Rick's name, and I guarantee you get 10% of your meal or your drinks. So come to Pittsburgh. Make sure not only see me and Brandy, make sure you go to Jaygoff's too. It's the home of the CFL fans in the USA place. So enjoy that place.
And I wear a double X. So just send it out to your boys.
And he got he brand new. He got his own. My man Bill Burke, who run the bar, Jaygoff's. Jaygoff's got their own new whiskeys as a rye whiskey. I tried it the other day. It's good. It's good on some. It's good with a good flatbread pizza. It was so delicious. So once again, you're in the Pittsburgh area, just go to Jaygoff's, and trust me, you'll have a great time.
Okay. Well, folks, if they're in Canada or United States, celebrate safely, celebrate responsibly, especially if you get a hold of some whiskey, especially if you're in Pittsburgh at a Jaygoff's. I just want to remind you real quick, too, we have another episode about celebrating the 250th anniversary of America and when the CFL expanded in the USA in the 90s, and we go into detail with that. So definitely catch that episode, too. You got 2 episodes this weekend, folks. I know you'll be doing a lot of celebrations, but try to get that in. You might want to listen to it to recover from all your fun. Who knows? So.
Yeah. And all the people in Canada, we're not trying to converge people to have CFL in America. We're reflecting the time of those 3 years when we had teams in the CFL. Just to let you know on that.
Sure.
We're all pro-Canada in America, trust me, but we talking about the good times and the bad times in Canada, CFL in America, so make sure you listen to it, so hear it out. Have an open mind.
Well said, well said. All right, folks, thanks for talking Canadian football with us. We'll talk to you next week.